this is a Ryobi P310. It's a caulking and adhesive gun. It uses the Ryobi battery system. And basically, you know, you might say it's a really deluxe caulking gun. We've got a little safety mechanism here, just like on a DeWalt. And then, of course, a speed setting. It's a little more straightforward than on a DeWalt. But the big difference is this uses the smaller size caulking tubes, or what I say the standard instead of the oversized ones. Uses any battery in a 1+ battery range. And, you know, it's a little bit of an awkward tool. You might wonder why we would use something like this. And you can see this is 2014. You've got this little computer type tag on here instead of a regular barcode to explain what's going on with these. Not a real common Ryobi tool, but it's one of those things that only Ryobi and maybe a couple other companies like maybe Milwaukee does one. Of course, DeWalt does one with the larger tubes. And you normally wouldn't need something like this for caulking, but in this application we're going to be installing security bars on some windows. We need to use glue in relatively cold weather, and that can really get on your fingers. You can't control it sometimes as easily with the hand squeeze caulking guns when you're using glue and adhesives that are much thicker, more viscous material. So for that, we've gotten the Ryobi P310 glue and caulking adhesive applicator. It doesn't use a lot of power, so you can expect to go all day on one battery with this thing. And although it would work with any batteries in the 1+ product line, if you have some of the lower power batteries, they're probably going to be just fine for this, unless it's really cold weather and the caulking or glue is, you know, just too viscous to deal with that cold weather. Again, probably you're not going to use this on caulking as much as you'd use it on adhesives.
Following up the review on a Ryobi P310, we use this for a day on a job site, basically smearing large screws for anchoring in concrete, and it worked just fine. So what we would do with something like this is keep it around for when you need to use glue. It might be a little bit overkill compared to just manual squeeze guns. The thing is, in colder temperatures where that adhesive gets really thick and hard to squeeze through, and you may not have a full control over it, where like you squeeze really hard and it's hard, and then it kind of pops and gets really easy and smears the crap all over the place. You run into that. One of the other things I noticed this doesn't have that the DeWalt has, the DeWalt has a little function where it runs the rod backward just a little bit when you let up on the trigger in order to reduce the amount of afterflow you get out of the squeeze tube. This won't do that, so you have to look out for the afterflow, but also realize it's not a high volume glue gun either. So you're not going to get a whole lot of afterflow, but you get enough that you need to be concerned where you set it down and not get that liquid nails all over your clothes or all over stuff. That sort of a situation. Of course, it has the built-on bayonet like a lot of similar equipment would do. Speed control, which I covered in the other video. There's no gear teeth on this. There's no notches, no gear teeth. So I'm guessing that the drive mechanism is some sort of a friction, maybe a rubber wheel friction type thing on here. I'm guessing what that is. Also, there's no grip safety or anything on here. So if it's sitting in a toolbox, it could accidentally go. And that's where you have this little device. So in an up position, it locks the trigger. The other thing, of course, you can do to safety it is to remove the battery, where I normally would store this without a battery in it. If you want to dedicate a battery to one of these, this is a good use for one of those lower powered, lightweight of the lithium product line, like the really flat batteries that come free with a lot of their lower end tools. This is obviously never available in a kit form with a battery and a charger. It's always a kind of a standalone tool that would be a add-on to whatever your Ryobi 1+ battery system based toolkit is going to be. Here in the United States, that's going to be generally sold through Home Depot. I believe in Australia it's a Bannerman's, and these are also available in Europe. My understanding is it's the same tool worldwide. So there you have it, the Ryobi P310 18V 1+ system adhesive application gun.